Hey guys, it's Paul from Ashen Phoenix. It's new comic book day for the week of February 7th. We're going to get started right now.
Hey guys, Tim from the comic book store in Capes and Scales, and I'm here to tell you about the trades that came out this week. There were two of them. I've got Star Wars Dr. Aphra Volume 2, continuing that Dr. Aphra story, and then I've got Cave Carson Has a Cybernetic Eye Volume 2. I haven't been reading this, but I hear it's very good if you're into the Star Wars universe. I did read some of this. I haven't kept up with it probably enough to... Probably like right outside of the beginning of Volume 2. But it's a fun, weird, quirky book. So this is like the sure thing if you like Star Wars, and this is like the oddball kind of pick, but it's fun. And that's the trades. There they are. That's it.
All right, we have first up, we have Witchblade, issue number 3. This is kind of a slow burn that's been going on. We're at the third issue of the reboot. Witchblade still doesn't have her costume yet because she's still fighting the fact that she's Witchblade. The writing is great. I just like learning the backstory of the new character. The art is amazing in this book. I can't wait for her to actually get her footing and actually become the Witchblade that we know. It's a great series. You should be picking this up. I can't say enough about it. And if that's how much I'm saying, like, this isn't my pick of the week, and I love it that much. So yeah, it was a good week. Definitely pick up Witchblade. It's out by Image Comics, and it's an all-female staff, which needs to be done more, but needs to be supported more. So do that.
All right, my first book is Versus, #1 from Image Comics. This book seems pretty good. We'll see where it goes. It is essentially space gladiators. It is guys fighting each other to the death in the name of corporate sponsorship? I don't know. It's unclear. It's interesting how it's written. It's written kind of uniquely where, you know, you're seeing somebody compete, somebody get killed, somebody get injured, and then there's a commercial break, and they actually show you the commercial break, and it's kind of funny. It's a little distracting at times, but like it's meant to make you feel like you were the viewer watching this on television or whatever. And it's a weird book, but it's kind of a cool book. It's very original. I don't know. I'll check out another issue or two. Space Gladiators.
Next up, we have Avengers 679. It is No Surrender, issue number 5, and they killed Johnny Storm, or did they? I don't know. If you're reading if you're looking at the cover, they killed Johnny Storm. But nobody stays dead in Marvel forever. So I'm not going to spoil a lot of it. We finally meet who the Challenger is. We find out why he's the Challenger, and the Avengers are kind of licking the wounds after their first losses on every possible ground that they've come across. But they scored a point. They don't realize they scored a point yet. But it's been a great series so far. I'm really looking forward to seeing how this goes, how this will affect the Marvel Universe in general, and I want to see more of it.
All right, and this next book was this close to being my pick of the week. So close because it's so good. But it's not my pick of the week. So there. It is Swamp Thing Winter Special. It is written by Tom King, who we all know Paul is growing to love quite a bit. But Tom King is pretty amazing. This story, there's 2 stories in it. The first one being the Tom King story where Swamp Thing is saving a little boy who is stuck in the snow, a giant snowstorm. It comes out of nowhere, and there's a snow monster that is following them that is weakening Swamp Thing because it's killing all the plants. And Swamp Thing is at the point to where he can't even remember fighting it. He can't remember. The boy is basically reminding him and telling him where to go. You got to keep going. You fought him yesterday. You almost beat him. And then, oh, you fought him yesterday. He almost killed you. And he's like, I can't remember. And it's a very cool story. The second half, this is 80 pages. It's an oversized, giant book. The second half is awesome. It is Len Wein, who passed. He's the guy who created Swamp Thing with Bernie Wrightson. He was working on a script for a book that was going to come out, and he never actually wrote the script. He wrote he never wrote the dialogue. He wrote the script. So they made the story without any words, and they still presented it as he intended it. It's a cool little story. It has Solomon Grundy in it. Who doesn't love Solomon Grundy? And I thought that was really cool, and there's a great write-up about him in it. So if you enjoy Swamp Thing and classic Swamp Thing, on top of that, you got a cool Tom King story. This book is fantastic. Still wasn't my pick of the week. That's maddening.
All right, and this week's pick of the week, if you've been paying any kind of attention and you're paying attention to the time frame, then you know that this week is going to be a double Batman week. Just because, as Tim said earlier, I love Tom King.
Yay, Tom King!
I love Tom King. And
he's pretty awesome.
And so we have two great Batman books. I've been following these from the beginning. We have Batman White Knight, issue number 5 of 8. I can't say enough about it. It is Jack Napier trying to be the better version of himself to basically take Batman, take Gotham City away from Batman, and it's been working this entire time. And a lot of the scenes between Batman and Harley in this episode, or in this issue, are really great. You see a lot of touching back and forth, and a lot of the things that, even though this is an alternate universe, a lot of the things that you see going back years and years and years between the relationship between Batman and Harley are kind of touched on this, and I love how well it's done. I'm going to be really sad when this series ends. There's only 3 more issues left of it, but you should be doing yourself a favor and picking it up. The next one is Batman issue number 40, and that's with Tim King, and he's great. Tom King. Because Tim's over there.
I'm over here.
Tom's here. Tim's there.
Over here.
Tom King has been spectacular. He has made me a fan of the Batman series. I was not a fan going in. I didn't start jumping into this book until like issue 24. And that was only because of the storyline between Batman proposing to Catwoman. It's like somebody leaked it to me and I started to read it. And I've been a huge fan of this series since we are finishing up the Gentleman storyline. Batman and Wonder Woman have been stuck in the Nether Dimension for 40 years now. Meanwhile, Catwoman tries to plead with the Gentleman to release them. And it's a very touching story. It's despite it being a lot of violence and a lot of craziness, the way he writes his characters and the way they interact with each other with their quick storyboards is just a spectacular thing, and it is definitely worth reading. And it's become, like I said, this has become my favorite book, probably my favorite book, period. And that's saying a lot because I'm a huge Spider-Man fan, and I'm big onto a lot of Image stuff. So to say Batman has taken over, that's saying a lot. So do yourselves a favor. If you are not reading anything by Tom King, you're doing yourselves a massive disservice. Pick up Batman.
All right, so what beats a Tom King story and a great tribute to one of the greatest comic creators of all time to become my pick of the week? Well, it's got to be Rock Candy Mountain number 8. It's the last issue by my boy, Kyle Starks. You're my boy. And this is a very satisfying conclusion to the story. I didn't see the complete ending coming. I enjoyed it. I loved it. I love the story he told. There's a nice little thank you at the end. This is just, a great guy finishing his story, doing it his way. Perhaps we'll see more of it someday. I really enjoyed it, and good work, Kyle. You crazy guy, you. This is awesome. All right, guys, that's it. That's another week, and now there's a thing up here, but probably not really because it's down here. But I don't know, because who cares where it is? You're not listening to me to tell you to click on a thing. You're just going to click on a thing. Actually, you're probably just going to go to another video. It's probably a cat video. I'm not judging you. We've all seen cats before, all right? It's lame, okay? Cats aren't that interesting. Yes, they fall down and they make dumb little faces and pretend that nothing happened, but honestly, you probably fall down too, don't you?